Hey there friends, how is it going? My name is Rabbit and welcome to episode number 33 of Let's Play Eternal Eyes on the PlayStation 1. In our previous episode, nothing too notable took place. We ended up making our way through the second floor here in the Hall of Dolls for the second time, and I was a bit surprised, and I commented on this immediately upon us kickstarting the battle, that the enemy count was a bit small, and I feel as though that fight itself was somewhat underwhelming, so perhaps the third floor is going to throw more foes our way. I'm not too sure, but let us go ahead and dive right in. As for the excitement within my own life, because you guys already know, nothing can just happen normally and peacefully. Oh no, you guys, my life is truly an IRL sitcom, essentially anyway. But before I continue sharing with you guys all of the lulls of my car hunting adventure, which is still going on, oh my goodness, we have to look at this guy. Have we seen this sprite before? I want to say no, and its name is Justin. Okay, so we've seen the name, and I remember a few episodes back when we were reading through some descriptions and seeing who was a predecessor to whom, I saw the name Justin, and I think I had remarked at the time, like, what puppet would be named Justin? Why would you name a puppet Justin? And what could a puppet named Justin possibly look like? And all of our questions are now answered, you guys. No further comments. So, all right, let's look at the spells he's got. And whoa, for all the roasting that I got started, he's got some new things going on. He's got Hammerga, which we have not seen before. More than one pillar of fire rises under the feet. A medium amount of damage results. So this just seems to be the upgraded version of Hammer, correct? Yes, that would make sense to me. And then Messiah and Ignis are both ordinary. They're spells that we've encountered multiple times, and I think our party's been sporting both of those for a while. But once again, is it just me? There aren't that many enemies on this floor. Maybe I'm just misremembering because it was the first floor that we explored way back in episode 31. And I say way back, it was just a few weeks ago when we had last recorded, or I guess my last episode went live, and then a few weeks until this recording session started. So it hasn't been that long, but for some reason I'm thinking there were a lot of enemies on floor number 1. Maybe it just felt more congested because the actual room was smaller. I'm not sure why I'm getting these vibes that the last floor and this one just feel a bit empty. But anyway, I digress. So this is Pippet or Pipo, if we want to be fancy. I mean, he does have a little bow tie on, so I guess we can give him that. So he's got Ma Hammer. Wait a minute, how is this different than Hammerga? I guess I wasn't really paying attention, but Messiah and Ignis are on this fool as well. So that is that. I don't know, I'm trying to think. Maybe the rooms are just bigger. Floor 2 and floor 3. And so that's why, because what is that? 2, 4, 6. There's 6 enemies here. That doesn't seem right to me. But okay, I'll let it go, I promise. It's gonna be fine, Rabbit. It's not a big deal. If anything, I should be happy because it makes the fights go by hella quick. But the downside to that is I feel as though I'm not getting as many jewels as I really should be picking up. And we are rapidly approaching. Ooh, I'm not able to reach anybody. That's not cool, Olivier. But if we are lucky, maybe Ma Hammer can take, 14 HP. Oh yeah, no matter what kind of garbage I was gonna throw out, he should go on down. All right, so we'll just keep things moving along. Oh, another thing that just occurred to me, I haven't found a base puppet in a very long time, so I don't know if the game imposes some sort of unspoken limits upon you, where you can only have up to 6 dolls. I don't think that's the case, but I find it strange that I found so many in such a short amount of time, and then there's been, I feel, a slew of fights since then, and we have not uncovered another puppet in any of the treasure chests we've since opened. So, take that for what you will. Just throwing it out there. Now, alrighty, let's dish out something. Why don't we do Ripple? Just, throw back to old times, shall we? But alright, you guys, as for my personal story, since all we've got is a bit of waiting ahead of us now that our turns are done, I was sharing with you guys in our last episode sort of my own personal car journey, and that in spite of the fact that I'm almost 30, I actually have only owned 2 vehicles. And Andrew's had 2 as well. He had gotten one used in high school and he wrecked it. I don't think the accident was his fault, but it did involve another person. And I think his parents, I don't know, that's its own story. And I still don't really understand because they bought his sister a brand new car, I think after she graduated high school, and then his douchebag brother, whom you all know I absolutely cannot stand, my brother-in-law, he's gotten like 2 or 3 cars from them because he's an irresponsible piece of shit. But Andrew got one in high school that got wrecked, and then he inherited a very, very old 1990s van that we kept with us for quite a long time. If you can't tell, we're a fairly frugal couple, and even though we have the means to spend more than we do, we just try not to. I'd rather build more savings and live right at my means, maybe somewhat below, just in case a rainy day does approach and we find ourselves in the position to need the cash. I don't know. It's just a personal preference. I think just also growing up, you know, as my father's daughter, he was an exceptionally frugal person, and I never felt like I went without. And that kind of instilled in me this sense of I don't need all these extra superfluous things and these creature comforts. I'd rather focus on maybe 1 or 2 things that I really want, and then everything else I can either wait and obtain it later, or it's something that I more than likely don't need. Or, you know, maybe I'll get it as a gift, you know, let someone else buy it for me. But to be completely honest with you guys, I don't have a strong desire for a lot of superficial things. It's just a personal thing for me. I'm not a huge makeup wearer. I don't wear a lot of like fancy clothes. I'm just a really chill person. I'd say my video games are my thing. Like, I know for some people collecting, oh, I thought he was gonna fuck up my chest. I was bracing myself. I know for some people collecting an exorbitant amount of makeup is really important. Having the nicest makeup palettes and the nicest, most expensive brushes, high quality beauty products, nice hair styling tools. Like, these are things that hold great value for some of my peers and some of my friends. But for me, it's like, I'd rather, if I'm gonna spend money on something, I'm not gonna be able to reach either one of them. So just in case any of them get any funny ideas, and I don't think either of them are gonna live. They shouldn't, but just in case, I'm getting rid of that chest. I cannot even let him get too comfortable there. And we will just run right over here, but we should be good in taking everyone out. God, you guys, this took no time at all, but okay. So a lot of my friends, they like a different type of thing than I do, and they have different types of creature comforts. Whereas for me, you know, I know what it's like to live in true poverty, and I know what it's like to temporarily be without access to running water and electricity. And I think that exposure when I was very young, even though things got better and changed, I think that I just always, a druid robe, very cool. I just always had this somewhat removal from attachments to physical things. And if I had to have something that I really do like and that is a priority pick for me as a creature comfort, it would be something that allows me to remove myself from my surrounding circumstances or situations or whatever, you know, just as a form of escapism. So books were a really big thing for me when I was younger. I loved my personal library and my personal collection of books. And I would say also in my youth, but more so, I guess, teen years and now as an adult, my video games, as well as some books, are a huge thing for me. Like, I'd rather spend money on a video game that I've been wanting for a long time than buy myself expensive beauty products or expensive clothes. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I digress. I'm like all over the place. I'm supposed to be talking to you guys about cars. This is driving me nuts that I cannot just look side by side. So what I will do, let's just strip right here and take a look at the white robe versus the druid robe. So it seems that AV does go down quite a bit, actually. That's 30 points. That's nothing to waggle a finger at. But in exchange for that 30-point decrease to AV, we do see ourselves with a 20-point increase to magic defense, as well as a 10-point increase to defense. So essentially, the 30 points of stats just get shifted. So you lose that 30 from AV. I think, again, that's avoidance or evasion, and it just gets shuffled into your defensive stats instead. I don't know if one is necessarily better than the other one. I don't feel like we've been dodging a whole lot, so perhaps it does make more sense to just give yourself the raw stats. I mean, again, this game, even though it is technically a strategic RPG, I don't think a whole lot of strategy has been required from me. So I'm just going to throw it on here. I doubt it's going to bear any sort of noticeable impact, but we can always switch back, so it's really not that big of a deal. And before we go ahead and move forward, and we will just go ahead and keep the next floor. Oh, learn magic, you say? Well, let's do it. You got a cure, meh. Old news, my friend, old news. Oh, but now Haresh doesn't have an opportunity to learn anything. I feel a little bit bad, but it's okay. It's okay. We just want to get these things thrown at you. We'll go ahead and throw Blue Beast. Attack power up. That was definitely not the person to put that on, but again, whatever. We're all about the randomness and letting life take us where it will. Alrighty, White Beast. We'll just plop this on Olivier. Magical Force up. Sure, works for me. And hey, there you go, Haresh. White power does make him feel better, and it gives him the ability Mats. Okay. Fabulous. So no new spells, but it is still nice that we're expanding our list. I'll probably need to spend some off-camera time eventually getting more jewels and actively trying to level people up more. I think we're all in our 3rd forms. Olivier, this might be form number 4. I can't really remember. I don't think so, because he was the regular jackal, he was green, and then he was a high jackal, and then now he's this, which is Nightmare, I believe. So he's in Form 3, Haresh should be in Form 3, and Lafern is in Form 3. Okay, so everyone should be where they need to be. Let's go ahead and just dive into the 4th floor. We still have so much time, and I haven't talked to you about cars at all, even though we're like 12 minutes into this episode. So let me now come back to what I was saying, creature comforts. We've had vehicle. Oh, that's how I got on that. I was talking to you guys about the fact that when we get a vehicle, we drive it until it dies, or until, you know, it's just not safe to drive anymore, or it's not practical to drive anymore. So even though we've been in the position to upgrade, oh, what am I doing? I need to look at the enemies, but look at this again, you guys. What is this? 5 critters this time? 3 on the floor, and then 2 up here. That is insane. Why are they not giving us a lot of puppets to fight? I don't understand, but this is Heracles. I love that name, and I think it actually does fit this puppet's design, so props to you, team. Props to you. Hammerga, once again, is making an appearance, and Messiah, which is an oldie but a goodie. So sorry, Heracles, I'm not going to dwell on ya. I'm going to hop on over here to this wolf-looking thing. Its name is Hound Dog. I wonder if this is another path that Olivier could have gone in if I had merged him differently. It's possible, because it seems like it would make sense that the little jackals would morph into a wolf-like being instead of a knight. But, you know, I'm not sure if a whole lot of thought was put into the evolutionary lines in this game. So with that being said, he has 4 magic, Shaker, which throws a huge SW and a large amount of damage results. I think we've seen that before. It's possible, but I do not remember, my friends. So let us just dive in. Vehicles. It is time for us to get a new one, is the point of everything that I've been telling you guys. We had a good run with the cars that we have right now. I think that we've really tried to prioritize other things in life than having the latest and the greatest in vehicles. So now it's a really weird feeling to be in the position to suddenly have to buy something, and I have the options of buying something new, or I can get something used again. But I mean, you guys, I'm driving a 2001 Ford Escape, or is it 2000? It's not 2001. I think it's 2002. It was a few years old when I got it. So whether 01 or 02, that's gonna bug me. I actually can't remember, and shit, I can't reach anyone else, so there's no point in doing an AoE. I'll have to look that up to confirm, but I think when I got it, it was about 5 or 6 years old. But that can't be right, because I think I remember seeing somewhere that it was a 2001. So I don't know which one it is, but all you need to know, I mean, is there really a big difference between a 2001 Ford Escape and a 2003 Ford Escape? I mean, let's be real. I think it's more, we'll just average it out. We'll say it's 2002, because I can't determine based on the year that I got it. I think it would make sense that it was a 2002 or 2003. It was about 5 years older than the year that I ended up getting it. So, you know, for whatever that's worth, it's an old ass car, okay, you guys? That's all you really need to know, is that it's pretty fucking old, over a decade old. So with that being said, do I want to attack you, or do I want to move and attack you guys? It probably doesn't matter. I should just pick someone, focus on him, and keep it moving. So there you go, Lukey Dookie, and we'll just throw him over here just in case I need to start making my way up the steps here. So it's weird that I'm now in this position where I technically can buy used, but even if I get something used, you know, upgrading from 2002 to 2014, that is a considerable jump that is going to feel like I'm getting a brand spanking new car, whereas for maybe someone who's been keeping up with the times and their vehicle is fairly new. I don't think a 2014 might be a downgrade for some people, is the point of what I'm trying to say. Whereas for me, it's like, holy shit, 2014, like, I can't believe this vehicle doesn't need to be physically wound to raise the window. I'm slightly exaggerating. My Escape does not have the little car roll windows. Do some of you even know what I'm talking about? I have a feeling that's such an old feature that some people might not even know what I'm referencing, but that was a thing way back when. For old ass ghetto cars, they didn't have those electric powered windows, so that was something that was pretty cool. You know, I remember the first time I was in a vehicle where you did not have to physically roll the handle to raise the window. You guys, am I like making myself sound like I came from a broke ass immigrant family? Okay, but real talk though, and seriously, for me, I think anything is going to feel like an upgrade, whether I'm buying something that is 2018 or I'm going a couple years back and getting something used. So I don't really have a preference. I think for me, I'm more interested in Consumer Reports feedback on different vehicles. And as I was sharing with you guys in our last episode, I want something that's either a compact SUV, or I guess one of the other titles for a smaller version now is like a subcompact SUV. So either one works for me. The new Escapes are just garbage, and I cannot handle them. I mentioned to you guys that I'm just very petite. This is something that most people know about me, regardless of which series you've watched. I'm very small. I'm 4'10" ish. I think I'm a little taller than 4'10", but I'm not quite 4'11". So I mean, at that point, you're really just splitting hairs. Is anyone going to notice the difference between someone being 4'10" or 4'11"? I highly doubt it. Most of you are just going to be like, God damn, that bitch is short. And that's really what it comes down to. So, with throwing that out there, I have somewhat of high expectations for a vehicle in that I need it to be safe. And not just safe in how it handles and safe in its crash testing, but also safe in its ability to allow me to see appropriately. And that's from the front, that's the back, the sides. I want to have a clear field of view so that I'm protecting myself and I'm being mindful of other people on the road. So it sounds so stupid and so insignificant, and for a lot of people, like, that wouldn't even be something you'd have to think about because you can see out of pretty much every single car you've ever sat in. But I cannot see everything out of most vehicles that I sit in. So I would say that's actually probably number one. I need to be able to fucking see. And it's interesting to me because as I've been shopping around and looking at different vehicles with I'd say like my top few, since I have to let go of my Ford Escapes in spite of the fact that I'm obsessed with them, and it's been such a reliable vehicle that I thought I would have forever, but, you know, sadly that is not going to be the case. I'm leaning towards the Honda CR-Vs / HRVs. Oh, bladed teeth, a nice little upgrade possibly for Luke. I think the HRVs are mildly smaller than the CRVs, but they're essentially, they're about the same thing. At least in terms of their effectiveness and my ability to see out of them. I've sat in a few cars, but I haven't test driven all of them that I'm going to be mentioning to you, so I've still got a little bit of exploring to do. Let me see. Are we going to end with some magic? Don't mind me, you guys. I'm like dipping in and out of conversations here. Whatever. We'll just wrap it up with Freeze Raid. He has no HP, so I could have probably physically attacked him and it would have been good. So anyway, the Honda HRV/CRVs I'm open to. I'm open to the Subaru Forester, but I'm afraid it's going to give me the same issues. I haven't sat in / really looked thoroughly at one yet, but I'm afraid that's going to have the same issues that the new Ford Escapes, gas mask, that's weird, have been posing for me, where it's too long in the front and the dash is going to be too big or too wide. So I'm open to it, but I think what'll be more appropriate is probably the Subaru Crosstrek, because it is a subcompact, and then with that, I mentioned this at the end of our last episode, the Ford EcoSport, but my only apprehension is that it hasn't really been under collision testing here, even though there was a version that did exist in Brazil, so it's not like the car is entirely new, but it is new to the United States, and the models that are here just were recently launched earlier this year. You know what, whatever, we'll go ahead and give this to Haresh. Oh, he learned Wave. For some reason, I was thinking he was going to get a Cure, but I think that's a green ability. May or may not be. Oh my gosh, we got one orb. Do you guys see what I mean? Where I feel we're falling a little bit behind with regard to... What the fuck? Bladed Teeth is not for Luke? I guess these are for the Pappets. So let's see. We've got Ice Horn here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not switching that out. I don't think so. Absolutely not. Because my attack right now is 221. Bringing my attack up to 241 does not seem worth the drop to other stats. We can look at the gas mask here, which actually raises your magic defense quite a bit. But again, you'll see that drop in attack power. Let me see about the muscle belt with the gas mask. Attack goes down a lot again. It's not worth it. To me, it's not worth it anyway. Your hit rate also... Now, Olivier is in such a good place. I'm not going to be tinkering with anything. Haresh also has an Ice Horn, which is golden. Let me see. I just... You know, it'd be nice to bring up his magic defense, but yet again, I like being able to deal a considerable amount of offensive power to the enemies when they're acting a fool. And I don't think the White Fang is an appropriate thing to drop. I don't even know what this does, to be honest. It looks like it raises attack power, oh god, by quite a bit, and my magic attack. So yeah, this will not be leaving. Oh, the Bladed Teeth is worse in every single way. The gas mask could be okay. Well, we'll just plop it on Laferne, or at least look and see what difference that would make for Laferne. Probably, I don't want to lose her MP. Raising magic defense and physical defense is fine and dandy, but I don't think it's worth all the stats that will be tanking as a result. So I guess this is just kind of where we are. Now this actually might not be that bad, because once again, we're seeing the evasion only drops by 5 points. However, what about luck? Luck just plummets. But I guess you could argue, how valuable is the luck stat for us really? I know it increases the likelihood of special drops, but you know, how big of a difference does it make? Whereas this increases her survivability quite a bit. So you know what? I think I am going to give her the gas mask. Probably not a good look, and I don't know if she's loving this. Whereas the previous item she had might have been a better look, honestly. But, I think this is going to be fine, and I don't want to worry too much about every single choice that I make. I don't know. I'll think about it. We can always switch it back if I feel like she's struggling a little bit, or like I'm getting shittier drops. Not that it's ever really made a big difference, but anyway, we are just gonna go ahead and part ways here. And when we come back together in episode number 33, we're going to head onward into the 5th floor. We knocked out 2 in this episode, which I feel like was necessary because there have been almost no enemies waiting for us on the last 2 or 3 floors we've really been wandering through. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe the 5th floor will actually feature a mini boss fight or something, or at least throw like 7 or 8 enemies our way. This has been absolutely nothing to get through, but I'm hoping they're going to increase the difficulty, because so far I have not really been paying attention. I'm trying to fucking talk to you guys about cars, but I still haven't gotten to the juicy, weird scenarios and conversations I've had. But, you know, I love leaving you guys in suspense. So if you're really interested in learning, what kind of weird assholes did Rabbit interact with? What sorts of ratchetry did she face at the hands of skeevy salespeople? Tune in to episode number 34 of Let's Play Eternal Eyes on the PlayStation 1 to find out. So take care, everyone. Be good. And I, your host, Rabbit, look forward to seeing you in just a moment.